Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing a quick update and also a comparison between the Quiet Carry Waypoint and the Tactile Knife Co. Rockwall. So we will get into all of that in just a second, but first please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool. So let's get this out of the way. Now, as far as the quick update goes, before we get into the comparison, the update on what I've been up to. So I'm working on a project, and I'm sure some of you have guessed already. I've talked to a couple of you, kind of giving you a heads up what's going on, but I can't talk about it yet, but it's really, really exciting. I'm super pumped for it. And I would say in the next 2 weeks or so, I should be able to give a lot more details, make some videos, make some announcements. So I'm really excited for that, but just know it's coming soon. I can't quite say anything more than that quite yet, but I'm very excited, and I think you guys are going to be excited as well once I make this announcement. Anyway, I have been carrying and using my FSD from Craig Brown. Really been enjoying that, and I'm also going to be doing a top 5 video coming up soon. Still have my review on my tactical Tactile, and I also have a couple knives that were on pre-order that should be coming in the next few weeks. That's about it for the update. Just a quick heads up for everyone, kind of let you guys know what I've been up to, but of course, mostly working on my project that I can't talk about. For a while I was doing a video every single day, and I have not been doing a video every single day because I've been so busy and just so swamped with this project that I'm working on. So I think you guys are gonna really like it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these knives. Let's talk about it. And I did my full reviews on these quite a while ago. I think at least a few months now. Here we have the Tactile Knife Co. Rockwall. So this is the thumb stud version. And here we have the Quiet Carry Waypoint, also on thumb studs. And the reason I thought I would do this video is they look very similar. They are similar knives. There's a lot of things that are different about these, but just aesthetically, very similar designs. So I thought I would kind of go through, just go down the line and go through each part and each piece and kind of each detail of each of these, and see how they compare and kind of tell you guys about them if you're not familiar. This is an American company, Tactile Turn. They do pens, and then they branched out to be Tactile Knife Co. This is their first knife design, and it started as a flipper, and then, which wasn't, I tried the flipper. I never purchased one, but I tried it in person. It was okay. And then they came out with the thumb stud one, way more my style, and I've really enjoyed this. This is made in Texas, like 98% made in-house, which is pretty crazy. And then, of course, the Quiet Carry Waypoint. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Totally rust-proof. This is OEM'd in China, so it's designed here. I think the Quiet Carry headquarters are pretty sure it's Southern California. So they design them here and then get them produced in China at a mystery OEM, from what I understand, and they do a great job. This is Vanex blade steel, totally rust proof. So the Quiet Carry is a one-man show as far as I know, and Tactile Knife Co. is a very small operation. I want to say like 10, 12 people maybe. That's just my best guess, but small business. And they've been crushing it. They came out with a slip joint, and they're working on, they also did a chef's knife, which looked great, just a little bit too big for my style. I almost got one. If they make a smaller kitchen knife, I would definitely get that. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are the same on these knives. First off, the blade shape. I'm calling these drop points. You might call it a clip point, but you know, because there's that little clip. But I'm calling these drop points. Very, very similar blade shapes. We also have titanium scales. This, of course, is milled titanium. They do a really nice, they put these on a lot of on Tactile Turns, which is the pen company. They put these milling lines on a lot of their pens, which feels great in hand. And then, of course, this version of the Waypoint has bead blasted titanium, which I think looks amazing. And the Rockwall runs on bearings, which is interesting because, you know, just handling the Rockwall, you would think that it is on washers. It kind of has that washer, you know, it's not drop shutty. It has snappy detent, but you wouldn't guess that it's on bearings just from handling it. The Waypoint, on the other hand, is very kind of classic washer action. Really kind of strong, snappy detent, and then very deliberate, smooth close. And if I handle this, I would know this is on washers. I would also think this is on washers, but it is on bearings. So as far as action goes, let's go ahead and talk action real quick. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention, these are both liner locks. Set that like that. And they are both inset liner locks. So only kind of the lock bar is sticking out. So the rest of the liner is kind of inset into the scale. Very cool. I feel like if you're gonna do, like a high quality liner lock, this is how it should be. Where, let's see, you guys can see it. Yeah, so where the liner kind of sits into the scale and just comes out so you can get access to disengage the lock. They're both liner locks. Let's talk, let's talk action. So for the action, let's start with the Waypoint. And look, I mean, these are really similar looking. Look at this. If you didn't know anything about these knives and you just took a quick look, they almost look like the same knife. Anyway, Waypoint action, super snappy, pretty stiff detent actually, which I think is fine, especially for thumb stud knives. The only detent that's really turned me off on thumb stud knives has been the Chavez detents. Chavez detents are just, I love their knives, but man, it's brutal on your thumb. So this is stiff, but not overly stiff. It's not going to chew up your thumb. The thumb studs are comfortable. Detent is very snappy and crisp, on the stronger side for sure. And as far as the closing action, very deliberate, kind of tight, but it's smooth, tight and smooth, and really kind of buttery close. Now, of course, it's not drop shut. It's on washers, but it has that kind of buttery, smooth action on the close. Now, for the Rockwall, again, opening action, the detent is actually more comfortable. So a lighter detent on this guy, but more comfortable for my hand for a thumb stud knife. And the close is smoother as well. Now, also, I was thinking, just for you guys' information, I was thinking about doing, kind of like a showdown, and getting a, I've seen Lefty EDC does it sometimes, and he'll do his trademark, blade battles or whatever. I thought about doing that, and I don't know, I might do that in the future with different knives, but I thought for this video, it's more of just like an overview, talking about compare contrast between these two. So there's not necessarily going to be a winner between these two, if you guys are waiting for that. But I'm just going to kind of go through the specs and talk about which one I prefer for sure, and which features I would like to see kind of to combine for the perfect, kind of slim titanium carry. All right, cool. So action, it's not drop shut, but nice shake. And this has gotten smoother as time has gone on. Pretty comfortable detent. Can you middle finger flick it? Yes. Smooth close. I can definitely tell that it's on bearings now that I'm opening and closing it right next to the Waypoint, but the lighter detent is also nice. Feels really comfortable. As far as the sounds go, pretty close, pretty similar. This has more of a thud to my ear, so I actually like the sounds. Boom, yeah. Sounds, definitely the Rockwall takes it. Thumb studs are interesting. Thumb studs are pretty plain and smooth with just a little bit of texture on them. And then these are more traditional thumb studs with that kind of like those ridges that kind of get smaller and higher as you go along. Which one do I prefer? I don't know. I have a lot of knives with these thumb studs on them, and there's nothing wrong with these. I like these a lot. They're comfortable, they work, but it's kind of nice to have something different where they're machining their own thumb studs, which is cool, in-house. As far as which do I prefer, where it's made, that doesn't matter to me. I think it's very cool that this is, I live in the United States. This is made in the United States. And more importantly, I think it's all made in-house. And so that's definitely a special thing. I like that a lot. But there's nothing wrong with having your knife OEM'd in China by an outstanding machine shop. A lot of excellent designers have their work made overseas. The quality is better than most of what's made in the United States for the same price point or even for a higher price point. So that there are exceptions, of course. I think a great exception is the FSD by Craig Brown. That is an exceptional knife, but it's also an expensive knife. So, that's made, I think it's in Washington. It's made in the United States by one guy. I would consider that a custom knife. So that's definitely, a proudly American knife. But again, there's nothing wrong with having these. I don't know what my point, I don't know where I was going with that, but there's nothing wrong with having your stuff OEM'd in China. A lot of times the quality is better, the action is better, and the fit and finish, they are better. In this case, for this comparison, I would say that it's nice to have this machine quality coming from Texas, from the United States. It's definitely a plus, but again, nothing wrong with quiet carry and where they are machined. Now let's talk about blade steel. There's a lot to cover, so I'm just kind of one after another. There's a lot to cover. For sure, the winner of this, I just said there weren't going to be any winners. All right, anyway, the winner of the blade, this is Van X. So Van X super clean blade steel, so it's not going to rust. It's an outstanding steel. If I was going to make a top 5 steel list, it would be in my top 5. Van X, awesome steel, no rust, nothing wrong with 20 CV. But if we're talking which one I would prefer, I would definitely prefer the Van X. Now, we have just small billboarding, quiet carry, and Tactile. I think that those are both kind of classy places to put their branding and their billboarding. This is a hollow grind, and it's a very subtle. It's not super thin behind the edge to my touch, but this is a hollow grind, and I really appreciate that. As much as I want this to be a hollow grind, it is not. This is a flat grind on the Rockwall. So as far as the blade goes, you can see this is satin. They also have a stone wash, and then this just comes in stone wash, which is not my favorite, but it works. You're not going to get fingerprints. You're not going to get any serious marks on the blade, so not a big deal. This also comes in stone wash handle and a stone wash blade. I feel like that's their most popular iteration of the Waypoint. So, to each their own. Definitely a personal preference. Now, let's go ahead and talk just aesthetics. I like the look of the bead blast, this plain titanium. I think it's awesome. I also really like this machine titanium. So it's going to come down to these tooling marks. Unfortunately for Tactile, I don't understand why this smooth pivot is on the clip side where no one can see it. I would much prefer that to be on the show side. And then the body screws, it's minimal, little back spacer. But again, they are on the show side, just a pet peeve of mine. Quiet carry, clean, and reversible clip. Let's go ahead and reverse the knives. This is only a righty carry, which I'm a right-handed person, so not a huge deal to me. But as far as the clips go, wire clip wins every time for me, or wins, 9 times out of 10. So definitely love the wire clip. This clip, it's okay. It doesn't offend me. It's very low profile in the pocket, but as far as functionality, wire clip all day. Jimping feels great on the Rockwall. Jimping feels great on the Waypoint. Now, what have we not covered? As far as how these carry in pocket, very similar. They have similar weights. There is some nice weight reduction. Those milled out pockets inside the scale. Same thing, a little bit harder to see. There you go. A little bit harder to see on the Waypoint, but nice weight reduction. Very similar weights. I actually think the Waypoint is a little bit lighter, which is surprising because it is the larger knife. I'll measure these up for you guys. We got about 3 1/4 on the Waypoint, on the blade length, and then 7 1/2 overall. And we got just, just a little under 3 inches on the blade and 7 overall. So the Waypoint is the larger knife, but they both carry really well in pocket. One more thing is I'll file this under action. The action, as far as getting to the lock bar or to the liner lock access, really easy and comfortable. It kind of sticks out. You can see it sticks out, so you can just slide your thumb across. Really easy to do. A little bit tougher on the Rockwall. There's jimping down below, so I feel like they want you to go down here, but it feels a little awkward. So I want to go higher, but there's not really a place for my thumb. I feel like this is the only weak part as far as design-wise. Do I really want to get in there, here? I guess I can go in there. I don't know. So a little bit off for the liner lock. Another thing to consider about these is kind of how to access the thumb stud. There's plenty of room. There's that little scalloped edge. Thumb stud access is very easy for the Waypoint, and a little bit trickier for the Rockwall. And it's not a problem. There is that same scalloped edge. You just have less room to kind of get in there, and this took me a little bit of getting used to kind of how to access the thumb stud. You can see, look at the clearance. Ooh, clearance is just, tight, ridiculous. Like it almost touches. Very, very, very tight clearance. And for the Waypoint, ooh, pretty tight. So overall, I think that covers it, by the way. I think that covers, am I forgetting anything? No, I think that's it. We got blade steel, we got blade finish, we got handle finish, action. Yeah, I think that's just about it. This is kind of a longer video, but it's 2 knives, so overall, if I had to pick, here's a good one. I forgot. I was saving this for the end. Price. So price-wise, these are both similarly priced, right around that 300. I don't remember the exact price, but right around that 300-ish price point. So when we're talking about titanium inset liner locks, which would I rather have if I could only keep one of these? Whew, that's tough. Now, for my tastes, I think there's so many similarities with these knives. The biggest positives are, number one, that this is rust proof. It has Vanex blade steel, it has the hollow grind. Biggest positive for this milling, made and machined in-house. They're making almost every piece of this knife, I think, except for the bearing balls, and except for the stop pin. They are making everything in-house. So made in Texas, machined in Texas, huge plus. And of course, this textured, this just the feel of the knife is really, it's really outstanding. It almost has that kind of custom hand machined or hand finished feel to it, whereas this feels more production, like perfect, Which one? Oh, I also should mention, for the Rockwall, everything is expertly smooth and chamfered and rounded and just so comfortable, whereas the Waypoint definitely has some sharp, pointy, you can hear it, some sharp, pointy edges that are not on the blade, that are on the handle. So, now if this was in Vanex, it's over for me. I mean, if there were a couple design changes, they put a wire clip on this, or if this had the aesthetics of the Waypoint, man, if this had a different blade finish, if it wasn't just stone washed, man. But if I could only keep one of these, it's going to be the Waypoint. This is not a blade battle, but if I could only have one, it would be the Waypoint. It has the hollow grind. I can pick different finishes. I can pick my bead blast, or I can pick the stone wash. The action is great. It's on washers. It's easy to disassemble. I don't have to worry about it rusting if I'm in a humid environment. And it is a little bit more knife, not a whole lot, but a little bit more knife for the money. So both excellent knives. You can't really go wrong. It's a personal preference. Why choose one? I have both. These are two knives that I don't see myself getting rid of or selling or trading. I think these are permanent pieces of my collection. So thank you guys for watching. That just about wraps it up. Going over my Tactile Knife Co. Rockwall and my Quiet Carry Waypoint. Both excellent knives. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will be back with plenty more knife content and knife videos, reviews, and soon to be announcing my project that I've been working on. Thank you guys. This has been Knife Standards. I'll catch you later.